Hello everybody! In today's video, we're going to be drawing all things Yu-Gi-Oh! It is something that I've recently started to watch the show, and then I've also picked up some cards. I picked up a few structure decks to kind of learn how to play the game. I've been doing that with my siblings, and let me tell you, it is now I'm collecting as many cards as I am Pokemon cards, and I don't need another card game to collect, but it's been fun learning how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I definitely don't have as many cards as I do as Pokemon cards, but I will try to keep it to a minimum. But it's been fun opening packs. I really like opening up trading cards. So back to what you'll be seeing in this video. I'm going to first be drawing a few of Yugi's friends. We have Taya, Joey, Tristan, and Mai. Mai is definitely one of the characters that I didn't necessarily really like at the beginning, but I do enjoy her character development and progression, and she definitely is one of my favorite lady characters of the show so far. Talking about Pokemon cards, when was learning how to play Yu-Gi-Oh, I didn't really understand it as well as I do Pokemon cards because it's definitely different in terms of there's a little bit more strategy. There are players that I know that play Pokemon that do play it with strategy. It's just that there's a lot more steps or things you can do during your turn versus a Pokemon duel. Usually you can attach energy, play your trainer cards, and then you will go to attack. Whereas in Yu-Gi-Oh, you got your spell cards, you got your trap cards, and you can also like link summon monsters, and then there's all sorts of other ways to summon monsters onto the field. And after you do your damage, then you can still do additional things before you end your turn. So it's been a learning process, but I've definitely had a lot of fun. One of the first decks that I learned to play Yu-Gi-Oh with was the Legendary Duelist 2 box, which has Seto Kaiba's deck as well as Yugi's and Joey's deck. I started with Joey's deck, though I'm pretty sure it probably isn't really beginner friendly, but we were just having fun time learning to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And not necessarily playing it by standard tournament rules, but like gradually adding rules as we understood the game better. So we've definitely gotten better at playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm definitely losing more than at the beginning, because my strategy for Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon is kind of the same thing. I just want to get a whole bunch of damage. I'm not about like slowly blocking everybody from doing stuff and then stalling the game. Though I have done that, and that just makes the game take so long, and sometimes that doesn't really help me. But it's been fun regardless. Out of Yugi's friends, Joey is my favorite. He is just really funny, and I kind of like how we learn how to play dual monsters with him because he's a beginner and I'm definitely very new beginner. I would probably lose to a 12-year-old that knows how to play this game way better than me, but it's fun to play with family and friends, have a good time, and not necessarily worried about playing exactly by the rules, which is, I think, kind of the point is to have fun. So that's what we've been doing. Out of these four drawings, Taya, Joey, Tristan, and Mai, I think Mai and Joey are my favorite, though Tristan turned out much better than I was expecting. His haircut I thought was going to be even more of a problem because it's really funky. I haven't really drawn any anime characters that have that kind of a do, and it was interesting doing this style because it's like an older show versus a lot of the stuff that I draw, at least recently, have been newer anime style, so not as much older 90s style, early 2000s anime. So it's been fun trying that out. Can't say I'm like the best, but it's definitely been fun times for me. And talking about things that I haven't done in a while or at all, I haven't drawn or colored with colored pencils in quite a bit, so I wanted to get back into using colored pencils. So I am currently working on The Dark Magician right now, And I also did a drawing with colored pencils with Seto Kaiba, which is like the first one that I did of the colored pencils. I just didn't record it, but I will include it in this video in the Seto Kaiba piece that I did. In addition to the colored pencils, I also used the gouache for the background to add a little bit of like ambience. And Seto Kaiba, I believe, is one of the interesting characters for me. I really like the dynamic between Seto and Yugi and their kind of rivalry and their differing opinions about how duel monsters should be played. To give a brief summary, if you don't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh, basically it is about the main character Yugi and his story revolving around him playing a game that he really loves to play, which is Duel Monsters, which is a card game in the show as well. And it's about him going up against other players of the game and kind of learning about his Millennium item and the spirit that is with him, which has a little bit of like folklore or like Egyptian lore going on and like that little bit of a mystery around it. But essentially, it's just about Yugi and his friends playing duel monsters and going up against his enemies and trying to beat the odds, essentially, and save the day kind of thing. It has been a fun time. I really like the Egyptian lore aspect to the show and learning about how Duel Monsters started and that it's like a really ancient game that has been converted into these cards, and there's like a little bit of like archaeology and learning about his grandpa, like what he used to do as an archaeologist, but now he owns a game shop. But regardless, it has been a fun time, and I had to do a picture of the main character, Yugi, and then I kind of wanted to do this piece more of like mimicking a traditional piece, but digitally. So I used the old beach brush since it had been a while since I've used the old beach brush, and I really like how this one turned out. My favorite out of the two Yugis on this page is definitely the one that is blushing. I also really like the Karibo that I did. I haven't done as many dual monster drawings of Yu-Gi-Oh as I would like. Definitely on my list to draw Blue Eyes White Dragon. Since I drew Seto, we gotta have his Blue Eyes White Dragon as well. And then for the final piece of this video, I had to draw Yami, which is like the spirit of the Millennium puzzle that Yugi wears, and he is, I want to say assistance, but like additional helper or like I don't really know how to describe Yami without like giving any spoils about the character, so I'm just going to leave it that it's a spirit of the puzzle who assists Yugi in his duels, and we'll just leave it at that. He is definitely a cool character. I really like the date between Yami and Taya, where we learn a little bit more about Yami's past and the Millennium items and the Egyptian folklore and the history of Duel Monsters and how it relates to Yugi and this like whole reincarnation or like reborn rivals kind of thing that's going on between Seto and Yugi. So it's been really cool, and I really liked doing this piece of Yami. The one thing that I had a little bit of a tough time with was the chain that holds the Millennium Puzzle. I did use a brush that is like has the chains already done, except for when I was looking at my reference photo, it looked like the chain was like attached to Yami's necklace, but it really isn't. It's actually goes around his neck, which makes more sense. I don't know why I was attaching it to the necklace itself. It literally does not make any sense whatsoever, so you will see me fix that later on. So just so you know, I do realize that it is not attached to the necklace itself. But other than that, outlining the chains made it look a lot more inside the piece versus just leaving the chain brush as it was. I feel like it made it fit in much better, and I really like the background that I did with the little stars. It kind of gives that when they go to the other world for the duels. I don't remember what the name is, but the shadow The Shadow Realm, that's what it is. So it's kind of giving the Shadow Realm vibes, though I definitely would not want to be stuck in there. Nope. No, 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 no. Let me know who your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh character is, and if you have a favorite card, leave that below as well. One of my favorite cards has definitely got to be, I do like the Dark Magician, and I do like the Dark Magician Girl. In the newest Terminal Revenge set, I really like the little cute lizard guy. I don't remember what his name is, but I'll include a little picture. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in another one.